Welcome back to The Innovative Teacher, the podcast where we explore practical strategies to help teachers protect their well-being, maintain energy, and build sustainable careers in a world that is constantly evolving. Teaching is one of the most rewarding professions, but it's also one of the most emotionally demanding. Every day teachers are supporting students, managing classrooms, navigating expectations, and responding to a wide range of needs and personalities. In today's episode, we're going to focus on something that is often overlooked when we talk about teacher well-being: emotional and social support. Teaching can sometimes feel isolating. Even though schools are full of people, many teachers spend large parts of the day making decisions independently, managing challenges alone, and carrying the emotional weight of their work without much time to process it. The good news is that we're living in a time where connection is more accessible than ever before. Digital tools and online platforms have opened the door to new ways of collaborating, sharing experiences, and building communities with other educators who understand the challenges and rewards of teaching. So in this episode, we're going to explore 3 powerful ideas that can strengthen teacher well-being: building online communities, developing peer support through digital collaboration, and creating positive feedback loops that reinforce motivation and resilience. These ideas might sound simple, but when practiced consistently, they can make a huge difference in how supported and connected teachers feel throughout their careers. Let's begin with the idea of community. For many teachers, the classroom can feel like its own little world. Once the door closes and the lesson begins, you're responsible for everything happening in that space. And while that independence can be empowering, it can also make it difficult to share challenges or seek advice in the moment. That's where online communities for teachers can become incredibly valuable. Across the world, thousands of educators connect through professional learning networks, social platforms, forums, and online groups where they share ideas, resources, and experiences. These communities provide something many teachers don't always get during a busy school day: the opportunity to connect with others who truly understand the profession. Imagine finishing a challenging lesson or facing a difficult classroom situation and being able to ask a group of educators, "Has anyone else experienced this?" Within minutes you might receive advice, encouragement, or reassurance that you're not alone. These kinds of interactions may seem small, but they have a powerful psychological impact. They remind teachers that teaching is a shared journey, not an isolated one. Another benefit of online communities is the exchange of practical ideas. Teachers are constantly developing creative strategies for lessons, classroom management, and student engagement. When these ideas are shared within communities, everyone benefits. Instead of reinventing the wheel, teachers can adapt and build on each other's work. But community isn't just about sharing resources, it's also about emotional support. Teaching can be stressful, and sometimes simply knowing that other educators are experiencing similar challenges can reduce feelings of frustration or self-doubt. However, it's important to approach online communities thoughtfully. Not every platform will feel supportive or constructive. The key is finding spaces that promote professional respect, positivity, and genuine collaboration. Once you find a community that aligns with your values, it can become an important part of your professional and emotional support system. Now let's move from community to something closely related: peer support and collaboration. While online communities connect teachers across schools and even countries, peer support within your professional network can be equally powerful. Teaching has traditionally been a profession where individuals work independently behind classroom doors. But increasingly, educators are discovering that collaboration can transform both teaching quality and teacher well-being. When teachers collaborate, they share ideas, distribute workload, and learn from each other's experiences. Digital tools have made this easier than ever. Shared documents, cloud storage, collaborative planning platforms, and virtual meetings allow teachers to work together even when their schedules don't perfectly align. For example, 2 teachers teaching similar subjects might co-develop lesson plans in a shared document. Instead of each person spending hours planning separately, they contribute ideas, refine activities together, and create stronger lessons in less time. This collaborative process does more than save time. It builds professional trust and confidence. Mentoring is another powerful form of peer support. New teachers often benefit from experienced mentors who can offer guidance, encouragement, and practical advice. But mentoring doesn't always have to follow a formal structure. Informal mentorship, where colleagues check in, share insights, or simply listen, can be just as meaningful. Technology has expanded these possibilities as well. Video calls, messaging platforms, and shared workspaces allow mentors and peers to stay connected and support each other regularly. Peer support also creates a culture where asking for help becomes normal rather than intimidating. When teachers feel comfortable sharing challenges, they're more likely to find solutions quickly and avoid carrying unnecessary stress. And just as important, collaboration allows teachers to celebrate successes together. Teaching is full of small victories. A lesson that finally clicks, a student who makes progress, a creative idea that engages the class. Sharing these moments with colleagues reinforces motivation and reminds us why the profession is so meaningful. This leads us to the third focus of today's episode: positive feedback loops. Feedback loops are a powerful psychological concept. When we receive positive reinforcement for our efforts, we're more likely to continue those behaviors. Over time, this builds confidence, motivation, and resilience. In teaching, however, feedback can sometimes be limited. Teachers give feedback to students constantly, but they don't always receive much feedback themselves. That's where intentional reflection and digital tools can help create positive feedback loops for educators. For example, some teachers keep a simple digital journal or reflection log. At the end of the day or week, they write down 1 or 2 moments that went well: a student breakthrough, a successful activity, or a meaningful interaction. Over time, this record becomes a powerful reminder of progress and impact. Digital tools can also help teachers collect feedback from students. Short surveys, reflection forms, or exit tickets can provide insights into what students enjoyed, what helped them learn, and what could be improved. Hearing directly from students can be incredibly motivating, especially when they share appreciation or recognition. Gratitude practices can also play a role here. Some educators take a few moments each week to reflect on what they're grateful for in their teaching journey. It might be supportive colleagues, curious students, or the opportunity to make a difference in young lives. These reflections help shift focus from challenges to meaningful moments. And while gratitude might sound simple, research consistently shows that it strengthens emotional well-being and resilience. Another powerful practice is sharing positive moments within teacher communities. Instead of only discussing problems or frustrations, communities can intentionally highlight successes. Celebrating achievements, creative ideas, or student progress creates a culture where encouragement is just as common as problem-solving. These positive feedback loops remind teachers that their work matters. They reinforce the purpose behind the profession and help counterbalance the pressures that teachers often face. It's also important to acknowledge that emotional well-being doesn't mean eliminating challenges. Teaching will always involve difficult moments, unexpected situations demanding workloads, and complex student needs. But when teachers have strong support networks, collaborative relationships, and systems for recognizing positive outcomes, those challenges become more manageable. Support doesn't remove difficulties, but it reduces isolation and strengthens resilience. And resilience is not about pushing through stress alone. It's about having the relationships and resources that allow you to recover, reflect, and keep moving forward. Another benefit of building emotional and social support networks is the sense of professional identity they create. When teachers engage with peers, share ideas, and celebrate progress, they begin to see themselves as part of a broader professional community. This sense of belonging strengthens confidence and pride in the profession. Teaching is not just a job, it's a community of educators working together to shape future generations. And when teachers feel connected to that community, the profession becomes far more sustainable and rewarding. Before we move toward the recap, let's talk about small actions that can strengthen emotional and social well-being starting today. You might reach out to a colleague and share a teaching idea or ask for input on a lesson. You might join an online educator group where teachers exchange resources and experiences. You might start a simple reflection habit, writing down one positive moment at the end of each day. Or you might send a quick message to another teacher to say thank you for something they've done. These small gestures might seem minor, but they build a culture of connection, encouragement, and collaboration. And over time, that culture becomes one of the most powerful supports teachers can have. So let's bring everything together. Today we explored emotional and social well-being for teachers in the digital age. We looked at how online communities create spaces where educators can connect, share ideas, and support each other beyond the walls of their schools. We explored peer support and collaboration and how digital tools make it easier than ever for teachers to work together, mentor each other, and reduce the isolation that sometimes comes with the profession. And we discussed positive feedback loops, including reflection, gratitude practices, and student feedback, which reinforce motivation and remind teachers of the impact they have every day. Each of these strategies strengthens resilience and creates a professional environment where teachers feel valued, connected, and supported. When educators build strong networks and celebrate progress together, teaching becomes more sustainable, more collaborative, and far more fulfilling. In our next episode, we'll explore professional growth and innovation, looking at how teachers can continue learning new technologies and approaches without feeling overwhelmed. We'll talk about microlearning, integrating new tools gradually, and maintaining a healthy balance between innovation and well-being. Until then, remember this: teaching was never meant to be a solo journey. The more we connect, collaborate, and support each other, the stronger our profession becomes. And when teachers feel supported emotionally and socially, they're able to bring their best selves into the classroom every day. Thank you again for listening.